Hello. In this video I want to talk about what is an interface. An interface is the same thing, almost the same thing as inheritance. Just inheritance in C#, you can't inherit from two classes. So let's say I write a class called person. Person is going to inherit from, rather I'll call this one child. Child is going to inherit from father, and a mother. Okay, so child is going to inherit from father, and child is going to inherit from mother. Now the question is that possible? That child should inherit from father and child should inherit from mother. So, what properties am I going to make that the father has? So, I'm going to make the father should... I'm not going to give anything for the father, but basically, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And here, I'm going to go mother. I'm going to make child inherits from father. Okay, that's very good. That makes sense. But let's say I want to make a child inherits from a father and inherits from a mother. And it's going to say class child cannot have multiple base in class father and mother. Basically, it can have multiple inheritance. It doesn't allow multiple inheritance. Why? There's some languages that do have multiple inheritance. But there's some languages that don't allow the C-style languages like C, C++, Java. I think so C++ could have multiple inheritance. I'm not sure about that. But I know Java can't have multiple inheritance because they say that there is a thing called the diamond of death. So this is a complicated thing. Basically, they say that a father inherits from a mother, and the child inherits from father and the child inherits from mother. But what if I make that the father inherits, let's say, from a class called grandfather, class grandfather, and I say, okay, class grandfather, so father inherits from grandfather, so the father inherits from grandfather, and now mother inherits from mother inherits also from grandfather. So that makes sense. Mother inherits from... That's not necessarily true because they don't inherit from the same grandfather. They inherit from different grandfathers. But yeah, I just want to give a very neat example. So you have grandfather, so you have father inherits from grandfather, mother inherits from grandfather. So what you have is like a diamond shaped. Yeah, virtually it's a diamond shaped. So I'm gonna make like a diamond here. Oh, let's make it like this. Let's do some kind of, let's do some web search. Java diamond of death, whatever. Oh, multiple inheritance. So here you have it. Diamond problem. The diamond problem, sometimes referred to as deadly diamond of death. Its ambiguity to erase blah 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 blah. Okay, so here you have a class like grandfather, that's A. So grandfather is the A grandfather. And you have B inheriting from A, and you have C inheriting from A. So now you have D that's going to inherit from B and C. But what if, what's going to happen is it could crash the whole program, because this is going to have some properties that this has. So B is going to have some properties that A has, and C is going to have some properties that A has. But D is going to have the same property that A has from this side and from this side. That could cause a lot of problems. But there is a programmer that disagrees with that. I think so. His name is Uncle Bob, Bob Martin. He's a very smart programmer. And he says that the Java team was just, that's what they teach in college. That's why they don't have multiple inheritance. But he says the Java team was lazy because there was languages before that did have multiple inheritance. He says they were just lazy and they came up with a silly hack called an interface. So I'm going to go into what an interface is. So basically, you have the grandfather, the father inherits from the grandfather, and the same thing the mother. And now I'm going to have the child is going to inherit from mother. You see? Look at this. So now the child can inherit from mother. So basically, this is the A. This is the, yeah, I have to show it on. Let me go back in history. See if I can find it in history. Don't know if I could find it anymore. So whatever. Basically well, what happened here? What happened here? Oh yeah, I'm going back to my main. It's not letting me. Oh, I gotta press this plus sign here. Yeah. So you have the father inheriting from the grandfather, and you have the mother. So now you're gonna have the child inheriting from the mother. Okay, so you know that the child inherits some stuff from the mother and some stuff from the grandfather. So these properties from the grandfather are gonna inherit down to the child. But if I do like this, grandmother and father, it could create the diamond of death. So C# doesn't let you do that. So what is something that could be done? There's a thing called an interface. I'm going to show you now what an interface does. I don't agree with that. I think so that this Bob Martin is right. That the programmers that created C# could have made multiple inheritance, but I'll show you what an interface is. I like an interface better. I'll tell you why I like an interface better. That has nothing to do with the diamond of death and all these stuff. That's just, it has more visibility in not breaking base classes. So I'm gonna have here, so now I'm gonna have here the same thing. So I'm gonna have here an interface called, instead of calling it class, I'm gonna write interface. Cool. Interface. Interface grandfather. Now I'm gonna have another interface called, I have here a phone call over here. So have here an interface called father. So let's not do this whole diamond of that. Let's just make it simple. Let me show you that it could have multiple inheritance. Okay, so I'm gonna write father, and I'm gonna have an interface. I'm gonna call this one mother, and the child is gonna inherit from father and from mother. this should work. Why doesn't this work? Syntax error? Maybe. I don't know. I never did multiple inheritance with an interface. Interface. Expected. Something over here is expected. Maybe this? Yeah, this. Yeah, I wanted I should put such a thing that inherits from both. So you see that the child inherits from father and the child inherits from a mother. So why do you need multiple inheritance? Who cares? So I want to make a very concrete example of an interface. So I'm gonna have mother, I'm gonna have father. Father is gonna, so now I'm gonna make the father's gonna have some properties. So what properties can I do that the father should have in a non-real programming example? I'm gonna make the father, yeah, I'm gonna make money. Money is a good example. So I'm gonna make int, I'm gonna have a decimal. Decimal. I like to make properties rather than methods. They're easier to understand for this purpose. So decimal. I think so. I'm gonna make void. I think so. You're gonna make not void. What am I saying? That is a method or a function. So I'm gonna make a property. So I'm gonna make decimal. I'm gonna make you know, I'm gonna make a weird example. What does the father have? So father has hands. This would be like a game. Hands. String. Doesn't let me do that. Interface cannot contain fields. Interesting. Yeah, an interface cannot contain fields. Oh, yeah. Okay, because so I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make what methods. You can't make fields. You can't make properties. Of course, you can make properties in an interface. Let me try that one. Interface cannot contain fields. Doesn't make sense. Of course, it could contain. I just don't know how to do that now. I'm gonna do that with a method. So, it's gonna check it up on Stack Overflow later if you're really interested. I'm gonna make here a thing called what can a father have? So father can walk, can talk. A father can talk, has a mouth and it can talk. So I'm gonna make one thing that a father can have. Yeah. Let's say the father is silly, or the father is smart, or the father is stupid. Yeah, based on that, the child will be stupid or smart. I don't know. Let's make something. So I'm gonna make father or jokey. I don't know. I'm gonna make what would the father have? It's a hard question. The father, every father has a mouth. Well, let's say the father has a store. I can't come up with something. I don't know. Yeah, the father has the father could walk. Okay, so make a method. I'm gonna call this one public, not public, void walk. Void walk. Yeah. So here, the father could walk. Sorry, till I came up with something, took a long time. So the father could walk, void talk, the father could also talk. The father could, what else could a father do? Yeah, the father could walk and the father could talk and the father could sleep. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. So, yeah, the father could walk and the father could talk. Let's just such an example. And now I'm gonna have you know, I have a good idea. I'll make the mother could walk and the father could talk, and the mother talks a lot on the phone. So a man walks around, likes to walk around a lot, and yeah, and they like to talk a lot. So now the child has what the mother has and has what the father has. He has in his genes, in his genetics, he is very talkable and he walks a lot. He walks a lot and talks a lot. Why? Because the mother is very extreme. The mother talks a lot and the father walks a lot. So we're gonna have the child. You see, I'm getting these errors. So now if I take away the mother and I make, so I put the father here, and I'm gonna make walk. So I have to, so basically it doesn't inherit from walk. It gives you a compiler error. So now you're gonna say, what? It gives me a compiler error and forces me to put in a method that should be called walk. The method can do whatever it wants, but it has to put in a method walk. So I'm gonna do public void. It has to do void also. It has to return void and it has to walk. So void, and I have to create a method called walk. If not, it's gonna give me an error. So why would I need something to force me to put in a method? Like that's just stupid. So just don't make this interface. Don't inherit it. Just put in a method. Walk. Why? Because later on I'm going to show you what polymorphism does and machinery and certain stuff, how mechanics works and all these stuff. So I'll be able to give you a more concrete example of that. So you have now if the child wants to inherit from mother, it's going to give me an error again. Boom. Mother, it's not inheriting from mother. So it's not going to compile until it's talking and walking, because the child has the genes from the father and the genes from the mother. So I'm going to put in another method, and I gotta create this one talk. I have to create this one talk, and talk, and here I have it. It's walking and it's talking. It's not returning anything. It's returning void. So let me make it do something. So I'm gonna make console. Yeah, and I'm gonna make I'm walking. I'm walking. Console dot right line. Right line. Yes. So this one. I want to come to database, show you how to make a program with pulling stuff from a database and more examples. But if you do this, I'll show you later on how you do that with a database. Thing called POCO classes. How you take out and pull out stuff from a database, put it back into a database, deserialize, serialize, JSON, how to pull API calls from a lot of places, a lot of interesting stuff, like from API on demand, we pull stocks for free every second. And you can do calculations based on that. Yeah, so I'm walking and I'm gonna make I'm talking. So here you have I'm walking, I'm talking. So the child is walking and talking. So it's inheriting very nicely. So let's instantiate now. Let's make a child. 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 Yeah, child. Call him child n1 equals. I'm just like, yeah, and 1, I don't know, maybe I'll call it Harry. Harry is equals new child. So I'm basically making now a type child an object named Harry. And what I am going to do is I'm going to say Harry dot, and I'm going to make Harry dot talk. I'm going to make him talk. I'm going to make Harry dot walk. I'll make Harry walk. And I'm going to make a console.read, console.read line, and here you got it's going to say I'm walking, I'm talking. So if it doesn't crash on me, yes, I'm walking, I'm talking. So there you go. Yeah, I'm walking. So who cares? Why do I need this whole interface to make it child say I'm walking, I'm talking? Because let's say I want to have a I don't know if I create it with this. This is not such a concrete example. I'm going to give an interface be called a machine. What can a machine have? Yeah, I'm going to make a new one. Yeah, this would be better. So I think I'll make it in the next tutorial. Why an interface? That will be another tutorial. This tutorial is getting a bit long. But here you know exactly what an interface is. You don't know why it comes to use, but you know what it is. And this is what a lot of tutorials fail to explain. What does it do? Why do you need an interface? So if you like this tutorial, please subscribe. Next video, I'm going to show you what an interface, why it's used, what is polymorphism, why it's used in polymorphism. I'll show you what classes can do in polymorphism, and a lot of stuff. So if you like this tutorial, please subscribe.